Tzu Chi hosts a distribution of vital food supplies to earthquake survivors 1 month after the disaster. Tzu Chi helps send warm clothes to those fleeing Typhoon Chanthu in Taiwan's mountainous areas. I'm Sean Scanlon. This is DAI Headlines. Let's get started. A month after the earthquake in Haiti, Tzu Chi's care continues with another distribution, helping 1,250 households. Each family received 2 bags full of supplies, including beans, pasta, cooking oil, and tablets to purify water. Here's more.
In the hard-hit city of La Caille, life is getting back on track after the earthquake. However, food insecurity is getting worse, and that is affecting people's lives tremendously. Today at the Caritas event, Tzu Chi distributed rice and some more other food items, estimating it could supply a family of 6 to 8 for a month.
This morning, the Caritas crew of the dioceses in Les Cayas, along with Tzu Chi Foundation, are in Go-Reg community to give you items. This is a sign of solidarity.
In the beginning, I didn't know what Tzu Chi was doing in the country. The more I worked with Johnson Zhang, the more I realized that Tzu Chi is a big organization. And I feel really good to help alongside those people who come from all over to support us. So being here today, I feel good about myself. I'm also delighted to help my community because I'm from Les Cayes, and to be with them, it brings me so much joy in my heart.
Self-care is my child, and I really love her. I see she's doing really well. I'm very happy with the food you brought for us. And yes, I need a top, because I still live under the rubbles. I need a tent. I was at home during the earthquake. I had to run really fast. The other children were inside. The front of the parking lot was totally destroyed. We couldn't go to the front of the gate, nor the back of the gate. We could not open neither the barrier in front nor the barrier behind. The children were stuck inside.
I have food to eat finally. Yes, I'm very happy. You did something really big for us. So thank you, thank you.
They give me rice and other things in a bag. During the earthquake, I ran for safety till I couldn't run anymore. Thank God I'm not dead. Now I try to recover. I can walk a little bit. I feel in great shape. I have some food now. I almost died in the quake, so I thank God for saving my life.
One month after the quake, the 1,250 families received supplies today and will not have to worry about finding their next meal.
In Northern California, the Caldor fire has started burning near Lake Tahoe and extended to a large national forest. Northern California and Tzu Chi volunteers went to an emergency assistance center to distribute blankets and cash cards to affected residents. Let's take a look.
Evacuated with only about 3 days worth of clothes and no food. We escaped with our pets. So unfortunately, our entire home is just ash.
Our house was completely destroyed. Not only me and my husband's house, but also his mom's house. They've been on the property for almost 40 years. They have 13 acres. trees fell through the chicken coop. The house, the siding from the ceiling on the ground, it's all gone. There's nothing left. There's nothing at all.
We're here today because we're in an awkward situation to explain our loss of everything that we've loved in our home.
So every bit of money we get is going to help get us a place to live. A down payment, a deposit, first month's rent, that's what this money's going to. This is appreciated more than anybody would ever know. I mean, because we're left with nothing. Thank you.
With your help, I can finally eat food and I can go around in my car and lots of other stuff that you helped me with. Thank you very much.
Thank you for opening your hearts for people like us. We feel love and compassion and hope from your organization. It's not easy to receive, but we will survive. And because of your foundation, we're just grateful that we are being helped to rebuild our lives. There's hope that we have something.
More than 50 wooden houses were burnt down in a small community of Sabah, Malaysia. Fortunately, villagers were able to quickly escape, avoiding any casualties. Tzu Chi volunteers later went to the scene to provide immediate care. Here's more. Loud prayers play over speakers, filling the night air as it was a night of torment for villagers in Kampong Tintingan. Because of a fire in the village, more than 50 houses were destroyed. These temporarily erected tents have become a residence for families this evening. As the fire happened so quickly, the survivors had no time to rescue items from their homes. The Tzu Chi volunteers immediately went to give condolences and care when they heard the news. At the same time, they prepared blankets and other supplies for the villagers. Tzu Chi volunteers were brought back to the disaster area to learn more about the incident, as the fire was suspected of being caused by a wiring short circuit. Since most of the buildings were wooden houses, the fire spread rapidly. Although the houses burned to ashes after the disaster, thankfully, there's no news of any casualties. Unfortunately, the incident coincided with the festive season. Volunteers brought breakfast and also helped solve the problem of food and clothing. Tzu Chi volunteers also carefully record the situation of each family for follow-up assistance. In the Philippines, TIMA members assisted a government vaccination program, helping thousands of people get vaccinated every day. Take a look.
Dr. Carlos's fingers have been taped up, but he still insists on guarding his post to help vaccinate the residents.
After injecting hundreds of bottles of vaccines, my fingers became sore. After the 500th time, there are blisters on my fingers and they started to bleed.
More than 4,000 residents come here to get vaccinated every day. A doctor has brought his son and daughter-in-law, who are both doctors, to come help out together.
What the country needs right now. That's why we're volunteering, and it is part of our oath as doctors to provide the service to the people we take care of.
Selflessness at saka yung equity in terms of helping people.
Medical students have also come here to volunteer. They are learning and also implementing their mission to save lives.
Nursing means we should provide care. We also want to help people.
TIMA has assisted the government to set up a vaccination station at the stadium. Besides medical workers, a world champion coffee master has also come to serve people.
Through vaccinations, all businesses can resume operations, so I've come to express my gratitude.
Coming from all walks of life, these volunteers are preventing the spread of the virus with love and care.
Team of Hong Kong has been cooperating with the Red Cross since 2019 to host blood donation activities 3 times a year. However, during the pandemic, the first 2 activities this year were canceled. Recently, the blood donation activity has resumed.
During the pandemic, Hong Kong blood inventory was insufficient. Tzu Chi cooperated with the Red Cross to organize blood donation activities.
Because of the pandemic, the blood inventory in Hong Kong is insufficient. Through this activity, we hope to remind members of the public of the importance of blood donation and the urgency of donating blood now.
In order to make people donate blood with peace of mind, epidemic prevention measures were strictly observed. Some people made appointments online, while some passed by and came in to contribute their love.
There were Tzu Chi brothers and sisters by my side. Although I was still very scared, I felt at ease. I have finally donated 450 cc blood successfully. I hope my little effort can help those in need.
When I was in Taiwan before, I would donate blood regularly. Later, I have moved to Hong Kong for almost 3 years. I didn't know where I could donate blood. Then I learned from Tzu Chi's sister that I can come here for blood donation, so I signed up happily.
I really hope that more people will come to donate blood because fewer people have donated blood during the current pandemic. So I hope more people will come out to donate blood. It is really fun. I felt normal the next day after blood donation.
Bags of blood represent hopes, which is especially precious during the pandemic.
When Typhoon Chanthu came, many mountainous areas evacuated residents to shelters, worrying that the residents would not have enough clothes to wear. A Kaohsiung Tzu Chi volunteer, who is a garment factory owner, donated 200 sets of new clothes to help affected residents keep warm.
Tzu Chi volunteers brought in several boxes of brand new clothes before the typhoon arrived.
It can be worn in a shelter. You can also wear it outside.
Members of the public were evacuated to the shelters and will often stay there several days. It is inconvenient for them to wash their clothes.
We worried that residents just brought limited clothes with them, so their tops and pants and the fabric is disposable. They can be used as pajamas or when going out.
Wearing dry and comfortable clothes makes the residents feel at ease, so they won't worry too much about returning home, where the situation is still uncertain.
The industrialist Pan Ji Li runs a garment factory and donated off-season clothing in stores to extend their lives.
Because we're just changing seasonal clothing from summer clothes to autumn ones, so we went to different stores to collect these off-season clothes.
As long as I see Tzu Chi brothers and sisters, I will feel very at ease in my heart. Thank you, Tzu Chi brothers and sisters, for donating charity clothes this time.
Each piece of clothing conveys a piece of love, making the disaster-stricken residents not only warm, but also have the courage to face reconstruction after the typhoon.
Huang Yuming had a good job and a good marriage, but taking care of her sister with Down syndrome led her to give it all up. She later suffered from depression and experienced other tragedy in her life, leaving her to have little contact with Tzu Chi. Let's find out if Tzu Chi volunteers can still reconnect with her.
你忘了你是谁？你忘了你叫做黄月明，你现在叫做黄杰老大。
She had a good marriage, but it ended maybe because she had to take care of her younger sister who had Down syndrome. Maybe due to the dual responsibilities of her marriage and her sister, she ended up breaking down mentally. And this is the result of it today.
所以她今天才会变成这个样子。拍了9个月来的。谁拍的？就是躲在那个树下。
然后呢有一个师兄就偷拍9个月拍到这一张，不然没办法办健保卡跟身份证。
有相片的地方我们都不要给它动。
She collects when people throw it away. She collects it.
今天福报让你赚的很多，就是心里有一种。
Let's clear this one area first. She must feel insecure inside, so she fills up her whole home to feel secure. That's what's happening here today.
当初是被绑走的。
We had to physically remove her from her home. Otherwise, we couldn't process her younger sister's body because she was still protecting the deceased body, and no one could do anything. This is why the hospital security came and physically removed her.
对啊，喜不喜欢？可以了，可以哈，我就知道你最喜欢这个。
我不是为了什么，我希望。
I'm not doing it for anything other than I know that she hasn't had anything to herself in her whole life. So I asked the social workers if we can let her pick out the bedding herself. Asking for her opinion and choice of color, I feel, is a way of respect, and also to give her a sense that the things in her home are things she likes.
都是你喜欢的东西。
我跟你讲哦，你现在不要再去外面捡东西回来了，不可以再捡了，知道哦，因为好不容易啊把东西都清干净了。真的很温暖了。
She gives herself a lot of homework. She will clean up the home and write a little. She's also beginning to organize her home. The room in the back was filled the last time we were here, and now it's half gone. She cleared it all.
给秀明吃。在这里吗？他在这里。秀明菩萨，阿弥陀佛，今天带姐姐来看你了。我最有成就就是我。
I'm most proud that she can be independent and start living the life she wants to live.
走到自己想要过的日子，她很平安呐。妹妹很平安。
3 generations of one family in Yunli live in a small, dilapidated house. The father and grandmother do odd jobs to support them as they cannot afford repairs, and the house leaks when it rains. Fortunately, a charity organization has mobilized nearly 100 volunteers to help renovate their house. Let's take a look.
It is very sad as life is difficult. This house leaks and I cannot afford to repair it.
I simply want to grow up fast and make money. Then I can live a good house and my grandma will not work so hard.
As the old house is more than 50 years old, it has a lot of problems. There's only 3 square meters of safe space indoor, and the grandma and granddaughter cram in the space. This is the only home of Grandma's son, 2 sons, and 3 granddaughters. The elder sister does her homework on the bed, while the younger sister plays under the collapsed rooftop.
The roof tiles have fallen down. It's very dangerous. We planned to come and renovate the place in May. However, due to the pandemic, we had to delay it till now.
The Hope Volunteer Group has mobilized nearly 100 people from different places. They started to level the ground. They plan to renovate the place in 2 weekends and 4 working days.
After I heard it, I'm very happy. I've also told my granddaughters that in the future, after they make money, they must help other people in need.
During the transport of any grain-related product, if humidity isn't under control, if there are any packaging errors, mycotoxins can appear. And Taiwan Asia Mycotoxin Analysis Center was established to detect this in grains, as well as detect 381 types of pesticides to keep our food supply safe. Here's more in our report.
Because most people drink a cup of coffee in a day, they're interacting with mycotoxins, which have higher risks.
A cup of coffee a day may seem like a good idea to boost energy, yet it actually introduces a problem. Because of the climate in Taiwan, our temperature and humidity is good for the nurturing of mycotoxins. Not only does coffee, peanuts, corn, cereal, grape wine, and fodder have mycotoxins, any products made using grains, if exposed to molds, will generate mycotoxins, ultimately harming our health. We might experience symptoms such as diarrhea after eating. This is caused by mycotoxins, and people often ignore this. How do we solve these toxin issues? In Taiwan, a laboratory named AMAC can detect mycotoxins and pesticides within grains, as it is located in CYUT. As of now, we will do detection tests for pasture and fodder. In 2007, AMAC was established. In the fridges of the laboratory, there are specimens from outside of Taiwan, as it includes pasture, fodder, and grain-related products. Throwing this pasture specimen into a blender, afterwards, the results will be filtered.
We filter it 2 times. The first time we'll filter impurities. The second time we'll filter pigment through glass fiber paper.
The solutions of pasture will then be put into a chemical reagent, as researchers will extract mycotoxins and filter pigment. Afterwards, this step here is where toxins are extracted.
It has different colors with different fillings. The fillings alone will attach onto the toxins.
These test tubes are called immunoaffinity columns. The white fillings in front will generate antibody based onto mold toxins. After the pasture solution dips into the test tube, the antibody attaches onto the toxin as impurities exit below the tube.
This is like the antibodies designed for alpha toxins. After the antibody attaches onto it, the impurities of alpha toxins will be drawn out from the test tube.
Immunoaffinity columns are disposable test tubes, as one tube costs $500 NT. The blue test tubes are for alpha toxins, the orange tubes are for T2 trichosin, and black tubes for ochratoxins. According to the Ministry of Health and Welfare, a total of 6 mycotoxin types must be detected. After the lengthy process, the solution will be analyzed through liquid chromatography and mass spectrometry. This is to make sure there isn't any excess toxins. We did the front-end part for mycotoxin and pesticide residue processing. After we take out the solution, we will take it over to our machine for further analysis. In mycotoxins, alpha toxins is a group 1 agent carcinogen as it damages the liver, though in recent years, most people care about ochratoxins as it damages kidney function. Foods that are subject to these toxins are coffee and grape seeds.
Grapes start with a large amount, then condense into smaller amounts like wine. This includes red wine, white wine. Since grapes have less toxins after concentration, toxin levels rise. When people drink wine, they won't just drink a small cup.
As food security issues emerge, experts say that there will be more inspection tasks held for food security. Laboratories will also follow up, purchasing advanced equipment in order to safeguard the health of the public.
COVID has led many exhibitions to go virtual. At Ars Electronica in Austria this year, 22 works from Taiwan are being exhibited, showing the country's creativity. We leave you with these images. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.